It's episode 6, season 2, FutureSounds FM, and we're going to be talking FLAMINGOFEST IRL with myself, Enzo, with Thom, Mr. Patrick Fakeman, and the lesser spotted Jay. We've managed to persuade him out of his self-enforced retirement from podcasting, because he does have a skin in this game. But we also have a special guest coming on, none other than Mr. Indy Advant of Utopia District, Tape Swap, and Tiger Blood fame. So it's going to be a bit of a packed episode, and it's effectively a takeover, I suppose you could call it. So we've got Mr. Utopia District himself coming on, and we're going to be talking through the FLAMINGOFEST show, a bit of the background around it. Obviously, we've announced the lineup already, but we'll be talking a bit more about what the weekend might entail, and hopefully get some people hyped as fuck to buy tickets, which are going on sale very soon. But more on that later. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good,
nice intro, Vince. Lovely, Enzo. Lovely.
It was almost as if I wrote it down.
Right?
How are you doing anyway, Mr. Patrick Fakeman? I see that you finished season 2 of The Bear.
Yes, finished that earlier this week, which you'd prompted me to watch a bit more of, as in watch it sooner rather than later.
We binged it, yeah. I just wanted to talk about it to people because it's such a good
Thoroughly
series.
enjoyed it.
Tom's seen it as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
One of those shows where it's now got to the point where my other half has found a website for all the recipes that they cook on the show, and we had the boursin omelette the other day that she made for the pregnant lady. It was yeah.
What's boursin?
Fantastic.
Is it like it's like cheese?
The soft cheese.
It's like a garlicky herby cheese. So you make
garlicky cheese. Yeah.
Beautiful. So eggs, butter, boursin, and other nice bits and bobs. Chives in there, bit of green, bit of veg.
Crisps. She put crisps on it. Chips. Right. Potato chips.
She did chips
Yeah, did she break up potatoes?
No, we didn't have that on ours because it was about, I want to say it's about 9 a.m, because we'd been woken up extremely early on our street by someone getting stabbed on our street on Saturday night.
Yeah, I heard Charlie came out with a towel and had to help someone out. It sounded pretty
It was all kicking off. Long story short, the man is fine, but also long story short, she used my best towels. I was really upset about it.
She used the best towel. She used the Sunday best when you got guests.
It was the towel. No. It was the beautiful towels that we used. So anyway,
that was Jack Dyson's towel.
But she said, "Oh, shall I go and get it?" And I was like, "No, because there's a strange man's blood all over it." Anyway, that's not the point of the podcast. But the point was, yes, I had a omelette, but it didn't have any chips on it.
Okay. All right. And how have you been, Thom? How are you doing, Jay?
Yeah, man.
I see
good.
Jay every day, so.
Yeah, I'm good. I came within a bullhair's breadth of booking flights to New York for the wrong week. So I nearly missed out on Econ 4 and Summer Slushy Fest just to go in on like a random late August jolly. So I managed to avoid that just.
I reckon it would have been nice and peaceful.
You probably got more sleep. Yeah, you get more sleep. Your flight's gnarly. That return flight you've got is gnarly. I can't even contemplate the idea of playing like at a tape swap or being there till late, and then basically you've got to be at the airport 3 hours before a flight, so it's looking like you're gonna have to leave at like 5.
Yeah, or just go straight just go straight from the show,
or just
go straight through.
Take a sleeping bag.
Yeah, there's no other way. I think it is what it is.
We'll get there. Cool. All right. Well, shall we? Oh, sorry, I've cut you out, Jerome. You must have a story from the weekend. What have you been up to, mate? How are you?
I'm good, mate. Happy to be back on the podcast that I hide so well from. But you've all. Yeah.
Do you listen to it, Jay?
Yeah, of course I listen to it. How am I not going to listen to your beautiful podcast? But no, thank you for having me back on. You managed to pull me out of retirement. So yeah,
cool. All right, well let's get Indy in. We'll without further ado, let's move on to the meat and the
meat between the veg.
We're joined by Mr. Indy, Mr. Tape Swap Indy, Mr. Tiger Blood Indy, Mr. Utopia District, Mr. Many Hands, Many Fingers in Many Pies. Not many hands, sorry.
I heard omelets, so I had to come running.
There you go.
Yeah. Have you been watching The Bear? We were talking about omelets, you see, before you got on. Are you aware of the TV program The Bear?
Oh, I know. What's that?
Okay, it's on Apple for us. Is it on Apple?
Disney.
Yeah, I think it is. I've been watching it on a Fire
Disney.
Stick. Disney. Okay, yeah, I've been watching it on a Fire Stick. So,
Enzo, you're not supposed to say that.
That's illegal.
That's
well, in a podcast about copyright violation, we're going to not refer to Fire
It's on
Sticks.
brand. We'll go with it.
Okay, we'll stick
I'm
with
going to
it.
be so brazen.
Anyway, it's kind of like I want to say that it's a really stressful program about a kitchen in a restaurant, and then it follows through 2 series. And if that doesn't whet your appetite, I'm not sure what would.
Hey, I was a cook for a long time. I get
Oh,
it.
are you?
Yeah, it was based in Chicago. Is that
Cool.
right? Yeah, Chicago, the Windy City.
The show was. I assume Indy wasn't based in Chicago when he was chefing at the time.
No, we're in Toronto. It's like it's a couple hours away, 5 hours, something like that.
Just a short journey.
But I
There's a
like
few-
that. I like that like lifestyle, reality kind
Yeah.
of pressure.
This is a
sort of
drama.
thing.
It's not like a reality cooking show. It's a drama set in a kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, but I mean, the thing that they do amazingly well is like capture anyone who's worked in hospitality. I've never done cooking. I've never been a chef or anything like, or supporting in a kitchen itself. But I've done like table service and hospitality generally at like big sporting events and stuff like that. And anyone who's ever done anything like that, or even bar work, understands that like constant feeling of pressure and stress that you have from the second you start to the second you finish. And
Yeah.
they capture it so well. There's some episodes where you literally are like struggling to keep your blood pressure low whilst watching. It's really good TV, to be fair.
Yeah, that's great. There's so many variables, and then that dinner rush is coming, right? You gotta
Yeah.
be prepared. Restaurant industry is so interesting too because there's so much turnover. I don't know if that's a part of the show, but
Yeah,
you
big
can't
part.
really rely on.
Yeah, hiring
there you
good
go.
staff like is always always a
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not here to talk to you about
Yeah.
your cooking past. We're here to talk to you about Flamingo Fest, man.
Tell me about this flamingo. What? What is
Flamingo.
it?
So,
Don't worry.
I think you know. I think
What,
Yeah,
bro?
a little bit.
I think you know more than you're letting on, Indy.
It's a segue. Yeah. So Flamingo Fest is our multi-year long project we've been preparing since 2020 September, during the pandemic, and we never knew when we were going to be able to do it. It was like so unforeseen, and it's like such a relief that we're finally, because we promised people that we would do it someday, and so we're true to our word, everybody. We're finally here after everything. And
It's funny because if you go back to like the year before we did Flamingo Fest, we were all we all met, or most of us, certainly me, you, and Jay met at the Econ, the first ever Econ, and there was a kind of sense, like a palpable sense around the whole vaporwave scene that it was all about to explode in real life. And there was supposed to be that event we were going to come and film at for the Nobody Here project, which had literally just done the crowdfund in Toronto. Was it in Toronto? Essential.
yeah, that's right.
That was going to be the April of 2020, and then obviously this pandemic just hit, and all of that enthusiasm and hope for the live scene and vaporwave, like, kind of just went for a burden completely.
That's a great point to bring up, because like people, like there was depression, like heavy depression felt by myself, and I think just like we had so much momentum, and then everything just kept screeching to a halt. And it's like, oh my God, how are we going to survive this? And luckily, I think it was Ronnie from Vaporspace who did the first online stream and showed us all that, there was another way to do it. And I think we all knew, but we didn't know like what it could look like. And that inspired us to make our Flamingo Fest, right?
Yeah. It was hardcore for us because the time zones and stuff, so we had to stay up late for a couple of days in a row, but it was amazing. I think we had 20 artists on each day. Obviously, it was a 2-day festival. We had some huge artists playing, some like a huge effort from the visual artists to put together stuff to keep it, visually interesting to watch music being played on a computer screen. And then obviously you've got artists and fans in the chat throughout the whole 2 days, just keeping the party going. It was, I don't know, that was the most remarkable thing about the vaporwave scene at that time, and that's what Flamingo Fest came up from, was in the midst of this pandemic, us and other people found this other way to keep people connected. And so Flamingo Fest IRL is very much, delivering on that promise that we made to people 3 years ago and to ourselves, because we wanted to bring the party to people for real. And hence it's called From URL to IRL. That's the kind of subline. So it's really exciting, and it's exciting to have you here to talk about it as well. Because
thank you.
We did announce the lineup yesterday. I don't know if you want to run through that quickly, just in case people haven't seen the posters.
Let's do that. But so we have a bigger team this year, though, right? Well, first of all, the Utopia District team, there's like 10 to 20 of us, and we're all going to be doing, bits and bobs throughout the day, throughout the whole weekend. It's a community weekend thing, and there'll be more information about that to come, I'm sure. But, the manpower of Vaporwave fans is it's like nothing we've ever seen. And it was kind of like what we tried to do with the original Flamingo Fest, like bring it to that level that like we saw Ronnie do, right? Like our version of that. How high can we push this? And, how much celebration can we give to the Vaporwave scene and these Vaporwave musicians and visual artists? And we've got St. Cloud from last year. He couldn't make it to the call, unfortunately, but y'all may remember him from the first episode of the Utopia District podcast, which I highly will link that one in the description maybe, so people can compare the first episode to the URL one to the IRL one. We have after parties in the works from other community members, like maybe Pacific Plaza Records or the Midwest Aesthetic team, who just had their show in Madison. We're really just trying to bring the community people together to all have something to do and play a part to, make this like Flamingo Fest, what did you call it? An all-star event, right?
An all-star cast.
And not just of artists, but of team and community too. So,
but that's the thing. I think that everyone was kind of when we were all at that first Econ, or for anyone who attended their first Econ, big parties done right that also factor in the community side of things. And you've obviously done loads of work with things like the tape swaps that make people feel like they're not just coming for a show. Because obviously there's a lot of people who probably see those things advertised locally and just turn up because it looks like a big event that's going on at elsewhere or Catch One or wherever these shows are being put on. But having those little community events for loads of artists and fans to get together and kind of solidify friendships that are formed online, that was kind of the beauty of the first Econ that I attended. I mean, we flew across the world, and you flew from Canada to America to be there, and that's the beauty of Vaporwave, is bringing people together. And that's what we're trying to do with this show, is to get everyone together over more than just a one-day show. This is going to be a couple of days of community events. Did someone say uh-oh?
I think he said a couple. Someone say a couple? A couple of days?
I thought someone said, I thought we had I thought someone was getting raided. I thought the DTI were raided.
I think, but to that point though, Enzo, I think you're right, because as we know from the Vaporwave scene, and certainly some of the stuff that we've done within the Synthwave scene, some people can't travel and some people can't get to these big events, but those that do, and those of us that are lucky enough to be able to go there, I think it's an amazing experience. It's a worldwide experience. And I think that idea that certainly post-COVID, those people that you speak to, that for some were a real support group during a period of time when many people were on their own. There's nothing better than being able to, see some face, see some real life. I was going to say some real life skin then, but it made it sound a bit weird. I don't want to go down there.
Yeah, no,
but you know what I mean?
I feel that.
Real bodies in a room, people that kind of feel like they know each other, but they've never really met. They've just spent a lot of time looking at a screen like we're doing tonight and recording. So I think that's what I took from Econ last year. It's what I've taken from events that I've been to previously, and it will certainly be what I take from November.
That gives me so many conversation ideas. I'm just going to go with one of them. We have a lot of footage from Econ and the tape swap last year, and we were so lucky to have captured some of the moments of people meeting for the first time where they had been talking online for years. And it was like, you're you? Oh my, holy dude, yo, you know, like we did all these things. Remember this? And then it's just like, holy crap, to see it happen. And, you know, as an event runner, I've experienced that myself, like plenty, but it's so cool because everyone's coming from abroad. It's in even like more intensified version of that. It's like some people's first time coming to America, and
state to state. I mean, America's a huge country.
Yeah,
even if you're coming from New York over to LA, I mean, a lot of people won't have traveled that far. I mean, that's the equivalent of us traveling to like I don't know, the far side of Europe.
Yeah, for the far side of Europe.
Yeah, basically, it may as well be the you know, the same distance as New York to LA for England to LA, but because it's like 5 hours on a flight. What's another couple hours? But and so with Flamingo Fest 2020, a huge part of it too was like bringing this global version of an online event. Like we had people who, and this wasn't really happening yet in the online streaming scene in Vaporwave, like people from different time zones, like Australia or Russia with like Cosmic Cycler. We did Late Night Lights, or all the people that you're connected with over in Europe, like Cat System Corp, Runners Club, you know. And so doing that again for the IRL version, we've got some really exciting artists coming this year into LA. Like Bloodwave is coming from Japan. Yeah. Like
Pizza Hotline is coming over from London as well. Like
Corp.
It's crazy.
Corp. He's in Finland.
Corp's coming from Finland. Yeah.
I can't wait to see how Pizza Hotline goes down as well.
Yeah.
Pizza Hotline. I'm really excited to see how he goes down for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much breaks in Vaporwave these days. I think people are going to love it. He played at our FutureSounds event last year and absolutely smashed it.
They went crazy. The crowd went crazy when he was.
It was great. Yeah, it was absolutely great. And of course, you've got obviously you boys, Donor Lens are playing, Melanade's coming over, and did I miss? Yeah, Runners Club coming over from Sweden as well. So you know, there's an international kind of feel to the lineup as well. It's not just local artists, though there are some of those as well. So it's cool.
Speaking of, I know a lot of people have been talking and asking about, like, we've been heard mutterings about a 2-day thing. I want to book my flight, but is there more than one day of events happening? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Yes. At least 2 days, if not 3 or 4, depending on what the community partners do. But we're still figuring out what venue is going to be best. But we have the full lineup for our other day that we haven't announced yet. So anyone wondering if we're going to have more locals or some smaller artists or up-and-comers, we definitely will. A whole day's worth.
Yeah, and it's not just up-and-comers on that list too. It's a stacked lineup again, like really talented. Some of them like new and exciting artists, or newer and exciting artists from the scene. And then some good names in there, and really like showcasing every kind of corner of subgenre and micro kind of style within Vaporwave and Future Funk, which is really cool.
Yeah, I know it's Flamingo Fest, and we have the whole of like Future Funk vibe. Well, it's, you know, we should say essentially this event when I first approached you guys saying I wanted to do something, we were like, okay, well, you guys have so many artists on the compilation. We want to do a charity event. It makes sense to do, it was Black Minds Matter is who we donated to at the time, right? So, you know, why not have it be familiar already to Flamingo Funk, which you guys had established. I think you did 2 versions. And then, right, and that is a very more, at least the first one is more of a Future Funk dancey vibe, but that's not necessarily the case for the whole event. Like probably half of it.
Well, actually, with Flamingo Funk, what we tried to do, and the name gives very much a vibe of a Future Funk compilation.
Exactly.
What we always did is we've done it, split it across 2 tapes, or like so on a vinyl, side A and B are the Future Funk, the party, and then C and D are the after party, and that's the Vaporwave vibe.
Right,
so it's always tried to be kind of streamlined to showcase the varying styles. So yeah, I think we've got a good mix on this, and of course there's chillwave artists on the lineup now as well, with Hotel Pools playing. Hotel Pools, who appeared with Windows 96 on the newest version of Flamingo Funk as well. Should we just run through the lineup quickly? Shall I run through the lineup? So
let's go through it. I think now is perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So we've got Christ, Uniwar. This is in no particular order. Limousine, Donor Lens, Pizza Hotline, Data Girl, Discoholic, Aurograph, Fiber, Runners Club 95, Dan Mason, Vapora, Hotel Pools, Luxury Elite, and Cat System Corp. So those are confirmed, but we do have a couple of special guests that we're working on.
Special guests,
which we're going to announce a bit down the line. We think that'll be a bit of fun. We've got some quite exciting stuff on that score.
Exactly.
But yeah, the plan at the minute is obviously to do a launch party if possible. So we've found a couple of venues, and we're basically obviously Catch One is the main day event on the Saturday, the 4th of November, and that's the lineup that we've been pushing so far. But we've got a whole lineup of other artists to be unveiled in the next few days. We're just finalizing the venue for the launch party.
Yeah, exactly. By the time this comes out, we may already have it sorted.
Yeah, for sure. And from the point of view of the community, then the sooner that we get those 2 days announced, we can sort of reach out to some of the other local promoters and see what they want to do to kind of supplement it. Because I think that's what's cool about weekends like this is kind of getting that out and up front, and then other people can pop up around it and put on their shows, because there's a load of shit happening in Brooklyn later in the month, which is exciting, that kind of builds on Bookends Electronicon this year, and that's the kind of vibe we're hoping to have here. So people are more than welcome to put on their own shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And we to empower people to be able to do that, we'll be having a massive group chat, just basically a channel where anyone that's interested or coming to the event or performing, or they've got a merch table or whatever, can find other people that are also going and connect and, work out that sort of stuff. So all of that to be announced soon. And in the meantime, please stay tuned.
This is going to be a Discord thing, is it?
Yeah, probably. The Facebook is cool, but not everyone wants to put their real name out there, and I don't even know. It's hard to be like, what artist are you again? When it's everyone's real name. And Twitter, I think, might have a cap.
It does. It has a cap now.
It's probably not the best place for it.
Well, it's gonna be a crazy.
X.
Isn't it?
Sorry, not Twitter. X. Yeah, Elon.
I did see something that they can't change the name of the app because Apple requires apps to have at least 2 letters.
2 letters. That is great.
It's
that
so
is
funny.
amazing.
It's such a piss poor planning. This is one of the biggest social media companies in the world. One of the biggest companies in the world in terms of brand recognition, and they didn't think to check what would happen if they changed the name of the app.
They the employees wake up in the morning and they don't get an internal communication within the company. They check Twitter and see what Elon fucking drunkenly said in the middle of the night, what new idea he had. And he's like, okay, this is the new policy. It's like, since when do companies issue policies publicly like that?
There's a part of me that enjoys watching the world burn sometimes. I enjoy taking humor from situations. If this didn't matter to so many people, there's a lot of artists who are seeing engagement fall through the floor because there's a massive kickback. I think if you pay, or a perceived kickback anyway, if you pay for the blue tick. So obviously the kind of earned blue ticks, the registered accounts or whatever it's called, the authorized account. Yeah, those legacy ticks are gone. So anyone who's got one is getting better engagement. They're getting their stuff pushed through more freely. And I think that there's a bit of people don't want to pay, and they don't want to be seen to have paid. And so I think there's a lot of people who are suffering from this change. People who used to get a lot of engagement through Twitter, and that used to drive their income, make people aware of their sales. So if it wasn't so serious, I don't know if Twitter's always been the main driver, but I think if it wasn't serious and it didn't have a knock-on effect for people, it would be quite funny.
I'll say straight up, half of the reason people even know about Utopia District is from Twitter. Right. It's so important, I think. And now we're in a vulnerable position where the instability of the platform makes us hey, well, how am I gonna we're lucky that we were able to get people following us on Bandcamp because at least we can email people now. Yeah. And I'm sure you feel the same way with your record label. But
But I'd be intrigued to know what Thom and Jay are like with Donor Lens, because you've got an artist page.
Great question.
Like, have you noticed a big change?
Yeah.
We actually got quite good engagement because lots of people were coming to the platform to kind of discuss the platform falling apart. So maybe that's quite short term.
You guys are talking about X. Sorry, I got confused there.
I saw you walk out the room and then you come back and we've got sidetracked.
Yeah. We were talking about FLAMINGOFEST.
Some things never change.
Pop out, come back in, and
we're a tech podcast now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
We just did a whole episode on this at Utopia District, actually, like the changing and the paradigm shift in tech platforms. But, people rely on Twitter to communicate with each other in the vaporwave scene. Now are we going to be limited to Instagram if Twitter keeps going down? Like, we see a lot of people leaving Twitter as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely fragmented, isn't it? It's like different people in different spaces. It's like how it is with streaming services, isn't it? It's like you have to have multiple platforms and you get bits and pieces you reach different people on different platforms, but it's very time consuming to be across, and you got less and less time to spend on your actual art.
It's just hard to keep track of all of it as well. Like, if you've got like multiple different platforms, you've got to like monitor. It's just more. You're just multiplying the.
And you've got to tailor the content as well.
Totally.
You can't just copy and paste.
You can't.
Some stuff you can copy and paste, but you can't use hashtags on threads yet, for example.
Yeah,
it
like
don't work. So you look like a bit of a dick.
Or
who's
even
not,
just like
really researched what you're doing.
Yeah, even just like with like dimensions of like assets and stuff like that. Like, you're not going to post the same picture to Twitter.
Well, and the energy that's required to maintain and build and maintain an audience base on 4 or 5 different platforms. Like, and be employed and do your art and family.
To pull us back into the subject for the evening, these are the problems that we're overcoming, hopefully, at the moment with pushing out the message that FLAMINGOFEST is happening, because we're facing this in real time, trying to get the message out there. And fortunately, Indy's got a platform with Utopia District. We've got a platform through Bandcamp where we can email people directly and let people know. I suppose there's probably one other salient piece of information that people will be desperate to have from us with regards to this before we start talking around the event itself again. Is the fact that tickets, we're planning to have tickets on sale on Friday the 4th of August, and we'll be making sure that link is very, very heavily promoted before the time and date. So don't worry about that. Whether you need to go to Utopia District on Twitter or My Pet Flamingo on Twitter, or any of the other platforms to get hold of that link, we'll also be emailing it out to absolutely everyone. So don't worry, we'll be spamming it this week. But that's the exciting thing for us. Obviously, the events like this cost a hell of a lot of money, so and it require a hell of a lot of planning. And we've done a lot of work on this before we announced it. But it just feels like an absolute dream to be seeing it starting to, like the pieces of the jigsaw starting to come together. So
yeah, exactly.
Thank you for all of the work that you guys have done as well. Like, just everyone on this call, like, just to make this happen, and the artists who've agreed to play. I know everyone's excited about it. It's just going to be amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well said. Same here.
Pat on the back.
Couldn't agree more. I think the first wave of the first hill we had to get over, we're just about finished that, and now we can kind of start working on the second, actually the production of the day. But I'm
thinking about what clothes we're gonna
it's
wear.
real now, right? Like we know that Catch One isn't cheap. Yeah, we can tell you that.
Is that a multi-level, multi-stage thing?
So Catch One's a huge venue with about 5 rooms, I think, that are available. So if you go on Catch One as a site to think about putting on an event like this, the first thing we did was to ascertain the kind of capacity that we were aiming for, which I don't think we need to disclose yet. But basically, we came up with an agreement with the guy Matt at Catch One. Shout out to him.
I was going to say shout outs to them.
Really supportive. Yeah. They were like super quick. Like, sometimes you hear a lot of horror stories. People are trying to book venues, and it's hard work. People they're not in the same time zones. Maybe they work nights because it's clubs. It's hard to get a good dialogue going with some venues. This guy's been amazing. And what we've got, the long and short of it, is we've got 2 large rooms we'll be running 2 stages simultaneously throughout the day, basically. So we're looking at things running from about doors opening at 2:00 till about midnight, with an after party on the day in the venue. So it's shaping up. It's shaping up nicely. And then the thing to finalize, of course, then is just we're picking between a couple of venues that we've got in mind for a 1-room big place for the launch party. That's the current plan. Am I right, Indy?
Yeah, exactly. And then just planning out the other community events around that. We want to, it's Catch One is the bigger venue. It's a bigger day. It's 2 stages. And part of the tradition that goes along with, I guess, me throwing events, is, a lot of us in the scene, is that tape swap, right? The physical day of where you're physically trading stuff and you're buying merch and you're seeing people. It's like that tangible, quieter almost day where people can actually get to know each other and bond and stuff like that. And that's always been part of the tradition, and we wanted to extend that to this event. And so, that's part of why the launch day is a launch, because it is like sort of a tape swap as well. And we're probably only going to be 1 stage. So people focus on the music, and then, on the side in the other room is kind of where the action happens, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the hardest thing to communicate to people, because obviously we've got a big venue for the Saturday. So what we're going to do in the first instance is we're going to have early bird tickets go on sale on the Friday the 4th. And that'll be a limited number. We'll probably have 150 available at first, and they will have guaranteed entry to both days. And then thereafter, once the general sale opens, we'll have a limited number of tickets that are for 2 days, and the rest will be for the main day. And it's a little bit like what George has done with Electronicon this year, because they've got a smaller venue on the first day of Electronicon. So there's a limited number of 2-day tickets, and then the rest are just for the main day, so to speak. So people who are really interested in that tape swap vibe, where lots of labels come together and kind of share, cassettes and vinyl and T-shirts and just hang out and, that kind of side of things, definitely have a think about, getting on board for the early bird tickets or for the 2-day tickets, because that will be a slightly limited capacity compared to the main day.
I suppose the key message here for those people that Indy mentioned about people that are on the fence or are deciding what to do was, the weekend, it's going to be a big weekend. There's 2 days there, probably a few things either side of it. So, book yourself off maybe 4 or 5 days, come out for a big long weekend, do the Friday,
At least make sure you're there for Friday morning, at least. Because I've got a feeling that Carl from Runners Club's got something planned.
Oh, is he?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Well,
is he taking people on a walk?
Let's not reveal the...
I think the clue's in the name.
It's going to be aesthetic, though.
Oh, wow. I was joking, but wow. Sounds like it's real. Jeez.
I think Eddie Hearn, whenever there's like big matchroom productions, people who are into their boxing, Eddie Hearn always takes people on something like this. It's the morning of the event, and fans are invited to come along and get involved in this.
Yeah.
So just to recap then, FLAMINGOFEST IRL, after 3 years of dreaming, hoping, planning, is finally happening. And it's taking place at the famous Catch One in Los Angeles on the 4th of November, promoted by Utopia District and My Pet Flamingo in collaboration, celebrating the best in vaporwave and future funk and pretty much every subgenre within the vapor family. Woo! With an all-star lineup of incredible artists and community events spanning several days over a wonderful weekend of warm weather, and you've got to be there. Tickets are going to go on sale on Friday the 4th of August.
Yeah, well said. I was just thinking about all the fun little things that are surrounding the event too that we can't really talk about yet. But we really
that makes a great podcast.
I really gotta say, I gotta stress to people to be there for the whole weekend. Come out, take a couple days off, get the flight for at least Friday, probably Thursday, so you can be well rested for Friday. And Sunday is going to be pretty big as well. And all sprinkled out throughout. There's little just cool things happening that you won't want to miss, and it's going to be the best way to really like meet the artists and spend time with any artist, visual artist, musician. And throwing shows is an art too. So you know what, you can meet us if you want to as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I can't wait. A lot of work ahead, but
it's something that kind of permeates my thoughts all day, every day, because we're always thinking about different strands, different angles, different things we've got to get covered off. But like, because the people I'm speaking to are in different time zones to me, like the other night, my daughter, I heard her, she woke up on the monitor. So I woke up, it was like 4 a.m. I thought, I'm just going to check my emails, see if anything's come through. And I had this email come through from someone that I can't name right now, but this is one of the special guests. And they were like, so I've had a thought, I've been thinking about it, and I'm definitely in.
Yeah.
And that shit, waking up
How
at
do you
4 a.m.
sleep after
and being like, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I genuinely couldn't.
Yeah.
Because my mind's racing then. I'm like, do we add him to the lineup now or do we? No.
Yeah.
Let's have a couple of special guests saved back for later. And it's like, it's just exciting shit like that.
yeah. Well, then you let us know, and then you wake me up.
Yeah. You probably weren't asleep.
No,
yet,
I
to be fair.
wasn't. Yeah, I'm just playing. But maybe.
But it is that
we'll
kind of
jam.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just new things, and good news is always nice. But there are like a lot of obstacles and roadblocks along the way. But with this unbeatable team, we are unstoppable. There's going to be some cool merch.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
Yes.
Exclusive. Had to be there kind of stuff.
Yeah. We've got a special thing that's going to be on sale on the. So obviously there's the tape swap, but on the day itself, we'll also have an area for merch. So the artists who are playing on the day will be able to sell their stuff, but we'll have like a big merch table of our stuff there, and we'll have this exclusive day only thing that's coming together real nice. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to.
Is that those hot pants you were talking about?
That's going to be.
Yeah. Sweet, bro.
Yeah, that's
sweet, bro.
Yeah, the leotard. Yes.
Nice.
Is our hot pants the same?
Are they
thing?
not?
No, I've never heard that.
Those short shorts.
They're just hot pants.
Shorts.
Hot, that's just hot trousers.
Yeah,
Well, they're
I'll
called
take it.
Daisy
Super
Dukes.
Daisy Dukes. That's the ones. Yeah. We got some special Flamingo Fest Daisy Dukes.
All right.
Is that right? Sorry, I'm not doing the
amazing.
accent well, am I?
Yeah, close
It's
enough.
not true either.
No,
but maybe we should. I could take some stuff down, like, and just. Can you just screen print this and this and this? Giveaway.
Yeah. To me,
Maybe Donaland's boys can wear them on stage.
yes, outfits.
Oh, no one wants to see my legs.
Oh, you guys are hot. Let me tell you. To me, Daisy.
And he's not
Dukes-
talking about the music either.
No, both. The Daisy Dukes are like really high jean shorts, right?
Yeah, that's what
Super
we're
high.
talking. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, please bring it out. We got to woo that crowd.
We'll get them on the merch stand, no problem. There you are, you heard it here first. We are revealing exclusives this evening after all. Indy, while we've got you, unless there's anything else you wanted to say about Flamingo Fest, and just make sure that if you're listening, make sure you keep an eye on socials this week, because we're going to be announcing a lot of stuff over the next few days ahead of tickets going on sale on Friday. So keep your eyes peeled. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whether it's Utopia District or ourselves, My Pet Flamingo, and we'll keep revealing details as we feel like confirming.
For sure, man.
But
For
all
sure.
in good time before the tickets go on sale on Friday. But while we've got you, we thought it might be cool to chat to you a little bit about New York, because obviously you've got a big hand in the tape swap that's popping up the day after Econ this time around. Because obviously you've done it before in the past, haven't you?
Yeah, so just before getting into that, I'll just say, shouts out to all the artists that are coming to perform at Flamingo Fest, and visual artists as well, and other people that will make sure to,
Make an amazing show.
Make an amazing show, and just show all that it takes to put something like that on, right? But yeah, so we're excited for that. But tape swap, yes, happening on the Sunday this year. Our first time doing that. We didn't know it was a 2-day event this year, so we had to do a bit of a scramble to find a venue that was available on the Sunday. And I'll use this opportunity to say that the venue has changed. was Transpecos, for anyone that saw that first teaser poster we put out. And because they don't have any availability on this Sunday, we are now going to Eris, E-R-I-S. It's called Eris Evolution, I think, actually. And, I think it was a blessing in disguise. It's a bigger venue. It's 2 stages. So we're able to have twice as many artists perform at the Tape Swap now. There's a lounge, a whole separate room with a lounge, and tables and chairs so people can just hang out and vibe out. And, there'll be at least 10 tables for tape swapping, not just buying from vendors, which is something something
the actual tape swap.
Something I wasn't too happy with last year, and just because we didn't have as much time or notice, and the living gallery was a little small, if anyone remembers. And
I remember trying to find a table when we got
I had to make some room for you actually in the
we
back.
had to break down like a flower pot off like some shelf.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we moved next to Pad as well. He was gracious enough.
It was a very warm and hot, sweaty day as well, if I remember rightly. In there, especially.
It was a hot. Oh, we were getting nice and comfortable with everybody in there, all sweating together. That's for sure. But it was nice to have the back. It was really fun out there. So the back at the previous tape swap was more where the swapping was happening. We had people just trading and selling their entire collections, and not just vendors as well. But yeah, this year there will be vendors area and tape swapping area, so people can actually put their whole collection on a table, and people can kind of thumb through them, and just more space to understand what's going on and share. So yeah, we're excited for that more as well. And the lighting is better. Just everything is bigger and more.
Have you confirmed the lineup and stuff now? I mean, when are you going to be revealing that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, we have had this lineup confirmed for a little while, but because of the venue change, we didn't want there to be like this off the cuff tweet or whatever that just says, hey, new venue, but no other information. So we're like, let's wait until we can reveal the lineup, get our tickets ready with the new venue, and do it all together. So that actually has not been announced yet. I don't know when this episode will come out, but it's going to be Tuesday, August 1st. So 2 days from
probably
now.
around the same time. Maybe we'll be aiming to get this out by the middle of next week, because we're going to predate the ticket sales for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, people are already flying out for Econ, so I'm not too worried about, everyone knows about the tape swaps because I made that announcement really early. So yeah, just kind of do it all in one shot. But the new venue is going to be awesome. Everybody come out. You're going to have a lot of fun. We can't really say who's playing yet, I don't think. Just wait for the poster. It might already be out, the full lineup poster, on utopiadistrict.com, which is also where you can buy FLAMINGOFEST tickets when they go up, if you just want to go straight to a website and do it. And we'll have the link for the tape swap tickets as well, and the full lineup also. But yeah, I don't want to reveal too much more than that, because there are other people on the tape swap team. It's not just me. There's Ronnie from Vaporspace, Pacific Plaza, Alex, and Chief Alif from VA10. And I've already told them it's going to be Tuesday, so we'll just keep it at that. But,
Are you talking about an early start and a late finish, or is it a day event the last ones?
That's a good question. The times have not
I think people
changed.
will be thinking about flying back when they...
Yeah, so you could technically fly back Sunday night if you wanted to, because the tape swap's only going till 6 p.m. It's a it's a shorter time, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., excuse me. And we have a community event happening after that. It's a dinner. So anyone that goes to tape swap, we can all go to the bar together and actually have a full meal and hang out, and the community photo as well. But yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
Cool. Cool. So it's exciting stuff that's happening. And what's happening generally with because you've got a hand in Tiger Blood tapes as well. How are things going with the label?
Things are good. We are shipping as quick as we can. As soon as we get stuff, we're getting it out. I know that
it's the perennial issue.
Well, there's just a general perception of slowness with the label. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, but it's something that they are continually working on all the time. And it's not really something I can help with because I'm in a different city. I don't really touch the merch or do the shipping. I procure the albums. I work with the artists. I do the artist relations and that sort of thing. So I'm kind of on one side of the label, and then there's the actual label owner and his wife who do the actual shipping and whatnot. So things are going great. We have a lot of new releases coming out, a lot of tapes. We're getting into other genres that we love as well. Tiger Blood is not necessarily just a vaporwave label. It's an instrumental music label, but the owner recognized how vaporwave was catching on, in 2016, something like that. More labels were coming out and putting out tapes. And I think the first one he did was DDS, Shenmue, and then Dragon Ball Wave. And then that was a great way to help get the footing for the label. And then I joined a little bit after that just to help get more actual vaporwave stuff. But he's always done more of like an instrumental thing. You can check out his other record labels as well. Legendary Entertainment. He's had that since like 2002. Quite a long time. It was like a hip hop and rap album, which is his main passion and love. He just was at an event this weekend, like a hip hop food merch event. We did an email on it.
I saw the hot sauce.
Yeah, we were selling our hot sauce
stuff
there. Yeah, so it was such a good vibe. There was so much reggae. I love reggae, so that was my jam.
Yeah, I like ska.
Yeah, some ska. There's a really nice trumpet player as well there. So up the ska alley or rock steady kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's going good. Just anyone know if you haven't gotten your stuff yet, it's definitely on the way. Just give them time, and they're continuing to improve the shipping times. And then Utopia District label is going great as well. We've just did our Vaporwave Reflections bundle last month. We've got another one coming out in August, and we're going to try and do one pretty much every month. It might not be 5 tapes, but we really like packaging things up as a bundle, and that way we can showcase big artists and small artists at the same time and give people a bit of a discount. So right now I think you can get the 5 tapes we did most recently for $40, which is pretty good. It's less than $10 a tape if you like the artists we're trying to showcase. So you can check out utopiadistrict.bandcamp.com if you want to see our selection. We've got some merch as well, and all of that will be brought to the tape swap as well. If you don't want to pay shipping, you can just wait till the event, and you can pick up a tape or a bag or a hat or something from there. But it's all going good. Just trying to balance it out with my IRL job. It's a pretty intense job.
Yeah.
I basically run the cybersecurity for an entire company. It's about the size of a small hospital. And so, it's very intense. There's no room for error. And if something happens, a lot of money's on the line and a lot of, intellectual property, you could say. It's really intense. So most of my time goes to that. Really, I don't get nearly as much time to do this stuff as I'd like, and that's why the podcast is a little slower. And compared to what I was doing at Private Suite, for example, which was like 100 episodes in a year, that was when I was doing just like regular systems administration stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm a senior manager essentially, so I have a lot of responsibility, and that has changed over the past few years increasingly, and just less and less time for this stuff that I love. And I admire that you guys get to do this. Well, you may have other things you do full time.
No, I think
too,
I think it's fair to say that like the perennial challenge for most people who run net labels is managing the workload with day jobs. And it took us a long time. It took us a long time to get to a point, and I took a pay cut. I had like a semi-decent job that I was kind of just jaded by in the end, and we were fortunate enough to be able to get into a position where we could have a couple of us work full-time on it. So me and my bro.
What a risk, though,
Jay
right?
Dude, it is a risk, but
I've been winging life for years, man.
But that's the thing. I remember my old boss just saying to me, like, you spend your whole lunch break every day packing tapes, like annoying people with that loud sound that sellotape makes when you tear it off, to like literally sitting at my desk. I didn't take lunch for 2 years. I just used to be constantly like packing up tapes and stuff. And then Jay would come from London before he moved out here down to Cardiff to help me out for a few days sometimes with like if we had like a big vinyl release and stuff.
And that,
just eventually
that was
got
for
to
Time
the point
Slaves,
where,
right?
Yeah, in the early days, and then also for probably the start of My Pet Flamingo. But then it just got to a point where we were like, right, we're going to have to just take a risk and see how it goes. And fortunately, slight pay cut aside, like it's worked out to the point where we're able to follow something that we passionately love. And I think that's, like anyone who thinks that labels are making shitloads of money, there's probably a couple of exceptions, but there's lots of overheads and you can't do it on your own. You need to pay people to help you and support you, and it's a constant challenge. So I've got absolute understanding of the challenge that you face trying to manage your day job, especially one with such pressure, and then still managing to get stuff done. So yeah, I'd implore people to be as understanding as they possibly can. This ain't Virgin or Sony that you're dealing with.
It's more or less a circular economy, right? Like the profits from selling records go to paying artists within the community, like visual artists and other musicians, and then they buy their friends' records and stuff. Like there's not much money being pocketed, is there?
This is one of the interesting parallels that came up in an interview we did with Nobody Here, where someone was talking about the punk analogy, and they were kind of justifying how even if there does become like a massive boom in things like vinyl in a scene like Vaporwave, that doesn't mean that it's embraced capitalist ideals. It means that much like punk, it creates its own economy. There's not much of it that makes its way into the mainstream. It's all being bought by fellow underground scene enthusiasts, and in a lot of cases other artists supporting their friends' projects. So there's a bit of turnover and there's a lot of competition out there at the moment, which is a good thing. It means that people are just about able to make a living to pursue something that they care about. And who could possibly criticize an artist for spending more time making their music better and kind of satisfying the desires of their fans to hear more stuff from them?
We know a few people who take objection to that, but
that's a podcast for another time.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyone got anything else for Indy while we're here? Because Indy's obviously like, a guy who's been involved in the scene for a long time.
Just to thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. So,
Oh, no problem. No, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to have this opportunity to kind of let people know about what's going on with me, because I don't want to talk about myself on my own show. While I'm interviewing people, people want to know about me, they can ask, right? So thank you for asking. But I'm just happy to have a job where I can like work at a computer from home and do things while I do my real job. Not everyone has that option. Maybe you're talking for your job all day and interfacing with people and doing meetings and whatnot, and you can't just be on your phone or your computer like tweeting out things or doing Discord or adding songs to Bandcamp, and let alone things like going to the bank and just doing the regular day-to-day kind of stuff. So I'm just really glad I can still do Utopia District while having to support I live alone, and I live in Toronto. It's not a cheap city, and I'm so fortunate to be able to continue doing this, have such an amazing team, and work with people like you guys who are, such amazing people, and you work so hard, and you are not like a role model, a mentor, sort of, for how much passion you can put in and how far you can take it. And I just have to tip my hat to you guys for continuing with it, and a rising tide lifts all ships, or whatever, like they say. So all these artists, that you've helped gain followers or buy merch, it means so much, and it's not said enough. So I'll take this opportunity.
Well, we think the same. It's like, and I massively appreciate it, and it's a joy for us to work with you guys, and that's why it's going to be so exciting to get together for Flamingo Fest. But also, people like John Zabeel from Business Casual. Those are people who kind of, their business model, but it's a business model sounds almost like a dirty word. Like the fact that they are taking chances on small artists, they're giving people a leg up. Like John told us a story about when he first worked with Windows 96, and he wasn't taking credit for the success of a brilliant artist, but just the fact that if you have a part, however small, to play in the development of someone from being, a first releasing artist to going on to bigger things, if you have any kind of part that you can play in that, then it's a wonderful and rewarding experience. So
especially if people remember you, while they grow and they give you the credit, and because that's the thing too, not to put a downer on it, but that's something no one's perfect at, and I certainly can improve too, but it's invaluable, this people working together and creating this art. It's crazy.
Vaporwave and collaboration, that's what it's all about.
Collaboration. Yeah, man. Perfect place to end. It's lovely to chat to you, Indy. So just a quick reminder that tickets are going to go on sale on the 4th of August. Just stay tuned to either My Pet Flamingo or Utopia District, or both of our social media platforms. Give them a like and a retweet. Help us get the word out to more and more people. We've got a big show coming. Not just one show. It's going to be a weekend of community events. Amazing music, amazing people. A chance for us to all get together as a Vapor family and celebrate the best of this music scene and art movement that we love. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you guys in New York as well. Woo!
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Nice. And Patrick Fakeman and I are celebrating our 74th
we are,
birthday.
Between us. While we're both out in LA, we're both having our birthdays. So yeah.
Yeah,
you're lucky.
Awesome.
Especially Fakeman. You're lucky because Charlie's she's taking you. She's coming with you to LA. You're celebrating your 40th in LA.
Yeah, she's
LA.
very
That's
good in
bad.
the sense that I drag her around the world to things that I want to go to, and she's like, "Yeah, that sounds fucking cool. Let's go do that." I'm like, "Yeah."
She always loves it,
Nice.
and she seems to love it, and she takes amazing photos when she's come along to our FutureSounds event. She's taken some amazing photos of that. And just a quick mention on that, we are going to have a FutureSounds event in London before Flamingo Fest. So we'll be, for people who can't travel out to America for either Electronicon or for Flamingo Fest, there's going to be something in September, which is a FutureSounds event, which is very vapor centric. And we'll be revealing details on that in the next week or so.
Awesome. Hit me up. There's a few people in Utopia District who are saying, "Oh, I wish this was in England somewhere." Why? No, we need more shows in England. So they might not know about the shows you guys are doing there.
Wicked. Okay, yeah, great. We'll definitely do that. Nice one. Any more for any more?
That's it.
Or are we all good? We'll see you on the other side.